Hey there, my name is Megan Goff, and from time to time I get asked about our mold exposure experience. And so I wanted to pop on and just make a quick video for those that come to me asking questions or want to hear about my experience with mold. So this happened to us about 5 years ago, and actually it was a huge issue for our family and very life altering. And if you're going through mold, I understand. I understand what it's like. I understand the emotional, physical, even spiritual things that pop up when something like mold comes into your life. So I'll just say my husband actually was praying, or we were praying for answers, because for us it started with health things. We started to notice a lot of different health issues affecting me mostly, but also our kids and also my husband. And so we just started praying, and I believe God directed him to just put the idea in his brain. And he said to me one day, he's like, you know what? I think I should have the house tested. Let's just rule out any sort of environmental issue. So for me personally, we noticed a lot of issues. It started out for me as hormonal, fertility issues, just hormone cycle issues. But then over period of several months, it morphed into where I was realizing I was reactive to so many foods that I was eating. I had a lot of adrenal issues. My hair was falling out in clumps. I was the skinniest that I've ever been in my adult life. Scary skinny. Like one of my brothers-in-law thought that I was an anorexic. What's going on? A lot of food sensitivities, hormone problems. We were coming down with sinus issues. I had never had sinus issues in my life. And I wouldn't just get a cold, but like horrible plug in my sinuses, so bad that it made my molars hurt. It was insane. It was crazy. We were sick a lot. My kids had really bad under eye circles. We dealt with eczema, with allergies. And I think that they probably had some food sensitivity, some leaky gut going on. Just unwell. One of my sons in particular did not look well. He looked sick. I personally was way too sick to even exercise. Like, to go on a walk, I would come home more fatigued than when I left. And I was like, exercise is supposed to make you feel healthy. And like, in my mind, I was healthy. Like, I was a healthy person inside, but living in a sick body or whatever. And it was a mindset shift for me to realize, like, no, something's not right. I remember sitting on the couch one day and thinking, I am not pregnant, but I feel like I'm pregnancy sick. That's how bad I was feeling. And I got to thinking, I should not feel this way after I eat something. And so it started a process, a journey for us. So, doctor to doctor, getting a lot of different opinions. I'm a researcher, so I was like reading a lot and trying to learn how to help us be healthy. But my son, Samuel, was our oldest son at the time. He would have been about 7 or 8. And probably, he was 7. And he started to have heart problems. And he was just like, Mom, my heart hurts. I don't know what's wrong. And so we took him to the pediatrician, and they referred us to a pediatric specialist, and they did not have any answers. They hooked him up to an EKG. They did all the tests. They said basically he must be growing. We can't find anything wrong. Looking back, I definitely believe it was from mold, mycotoxins, and the toxicity that we were breathing in on a daily basis, 24/7. My husband noticed, so he was gone most of the day, but he had an irregular heart rate at night when he would lay down. We both had anxiety, just feeling like really scared. We might have had night sweats, now that I think about it. Brain fog, horrible brain fog. Like, we couldn't remember people's names at church. Like, we're not 90 years old. We're in our 20s or late 20s and 30s. We should not be able to recall someone's name. That's scary. And he had really bad sinus infections. So we also noticed that we would react to things with naturally occurring yeasts, like soy sauce, apple cider vinegar, like even the organic, healthy kind, and any sort of yeast, baker's yeast, brewer's yeast. It was really bizarre. And so we just prayed. We realized that we had an environmental issue in our home. What happened is we had some water issues outside of our home, and it caused a huge mold overgrowth in our crawl space. And our crawl space wasn't really it wasn't made properly, or this was an old farmhouse that we renovated. And so underneath the house, we didn't really make it to standards or whatever. But anyways, the biggest issue is that our HVAC system had some ways in which it wasn't installed properly, and so it was sucking up air from down there when we'd have the heat or the air on. It was the summertime when we found out, but he would pull that air that was, the spore counts were incredibly high. It would pull all that air and then circulate it through the house. And when our air was not on, I didn't notice it as big of a difference. Like we would have the windows open and it wasn't a big deal. But breathing in all that AC moldy air was an issue. So my husband called an environmental mold scientist guy from a local town nearby, and he came and tested our home. And the mold counts for us, it was mainly the aspergillus, but we had some counts of the really dangerous black mold. All mold is toxic, but like with anything, it's the concentration levels of it. So like outside on any given day, like depending on the season, there'll be a mold count. But the problem is like, it's not like 5, 7, 10,000 spores per unit or whatever. Ours was like up to like the 200,000 count down in our basement. That's an issue. And that will cause reactions. Some people are more sensitive to others, but it's toxic. It does not do your bodies any favors. It's an issue for your immune system. It will affect your GI tract and cause issues with leaky gut syndrome. Crazy. So toxicity, not a great thing. But anyways, he came, we ended up having to move out of our house for 3 months, and we remediated it. And we had noticed, I think our house is wrapped really tight, and we had noticed some mold growing in some closets, and we also had a roof leak that we hadn't repaired, and our son was sleeping underneath that. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, right? Duh, we should have fixed those things, but we had them cut everything out, remediate it, fix everything downstairs. We have a whole house dehumidifier unit put in so that we keep the humidity level of our house underneath the percentage where mold grows. So keeping that moisture very low. Also, what else did we do? We ripped out all of our carpet. We put wood floor in most of our house. And we got rid of a ton of stuff. Anything that could not be cleaned professionally, we just got rid of a lot of stuff. Like our couches, all of that just got rid of. We're like, I'm not risking bringing that stuff back in. If it was wipeable or I could wash it, we would. I just got some information. You might have, better information than me than I did back then, but Tide and ammonia kills mold spores and fungus. So that's what we washed everything in, all of our clothes, everything, because we did not want to contaminate our clean house. I did run a lot of essential oils, so I did lemongrass and the thieves blend through Young Living. I circulated that out throughout the house. Those are mold killers, apparently. And then we also we were directed by a person that we trust. She was advising us, but we did take thieves internally. We just take like a couple drops mixed in some almond milk and drink that down. So we did do that internally. A couple other things. So I have a couple of tips that I wrote down really quick. So number one thing you can do if you're in a moldy environment is get out. Get out of the house, get out of the apartment, the trailer, wherever you're at. Just get out of that and get into clean, healthy air. We moved to my mom's house for 3 months, and I could not get over your house smells so clean. So looking back, I think we probably always had a low level of mold spore count in our, in our basement, because sometimes I would smell the earthy smell. Now we can identify, oh, that's mold. We're in a moldy place or a moldy restaurant or whatever, a hotel room. We're very much more environmentally aware than we used to be. So get out of the place. That will help your body just naturally start to detox. Number 2 is clean your air. Get some essential oils. Lemongrass and thieves are great for that. Clean every possession that you own. Wipe everything down if it's wood. If it's, something that can be washed, wash it. Remediate your house. Get everything out. All the mold stuff needs to be out. And then number 4 is help your body heal. And I'm just going to share a couple things that worked for us. For me, it was helpful to get a food sensitivity test done so I could see what foods that I was reacting to. I did have my older kids do a less expensive test through a chiropractor of just a basic IgG antibodies test to see what foods they might be reacting to. And they had a couple things pop up. I had almost 20 things pop up. So it just helped me to tailor fit my diet so I was not eating things that I was reacting to, things like gluten, dairy, eggs, there's a bunch of different things. So I would definitely get a holistic practitioner that knows what they're doing in light of testing your blood levels, and also can direct you to holistic things, because putting you on a medication or covering up a symptom isn't really going to get to the root. So you're wanting to detox your body and also track, your vitamin D levels, your, other healthy levels, to make sure they come back into balance, but you'll be able to feel that in your body. I did hear a quote by, I think it was her name, Suzanne Summers, that said, "You'll know when your body's in balance because your body sings." It's like, that is so true, because when one thing is off in your body, it can cause a whole snowball of effects. So a couple of things: whole foods. Get rid of anything you're reacting to. Highly inflammatory foods like sugar, dairy, gluten, and sometimes eggs. What else? Eliminate those from your diet. Just go back to whole foods, protein, healthy protein, lots of veggies, salads, some fruits, that kind of thing. And it's a healthy thing to juice. That will help your body detox. Healing up leaky gut. Get on some good antifungals. That's what those essential oils do. And also enzymes and high amounts of really good quality probiotics will help to repopulate and seed your gut with good stuff. I will also say, when you're stressed, everything in your body is on a heightened level. So that's going to raise your blood sugar, your blood pressure. It's going to affect, your hormones and things like that. So de-stressing as much as you can. Research grounding, research oil pulling, do Epsom salt baths. We did the sauna. That was really helpful. Just sweat out those toxins. I would also encourage you to really take charge of your emotions, because going through a process like this, there's a lot of fear. Whenever it would rain and we moved back in our home, I would be scared. Like, okay, the roof leaks. Oh my word, we're going to have this huge issue again. Because it was also a huge financial drain on us too, when you go to fix a house that has mold in it. So insurance doesn't usually cover that stuff, but really working through fear, and that will really, really help to heal your body, because your emotions affect your body is your whole person, not just one thing. So this is a little step. So replenish your body with nutrients you might be deficient in, and help your body detox. It does take time. This was a several-year process for us, for me specifically with my health. But research, be your own advocate, ask lots of questions, get in contact. Now we have the internet, so you can literally search a hashtag or go find blogs or people online that have walked this path and connect with those people and ask questions, see what worked for them. And just be patient and fight for your health, because your family is worth it. God's kingdom is worth it. I really believe God's created us to thrive, not just survive. And plants and foods and supplements are all meant to heal and help us to be whole and healthy. So that's my story. I just wanted to share in case it could bless or help someone else out there. Feel free to ask me any questions, or if you have specific questions about the supplement line that I use to help myself heal, I'm happy to share that too. You guys have a great day. Bye.